Namaskar and good morning to everyone. I am Ravi Gupta. I am the editor-in-chief of eGov magazine and also the founder and CEO of Elets, Technomedia. And we have the honor of having Dr. Pramod Varma with us, who is the chief architect of the Aadhaar and the UPI, the DigiLocker, and the overall Indian like DPI movement, which is like going on, and it is going global. So, welcome, Dr. Pramod. It's an honor to have you here.
Wonderful to be here. Thank you for hosting me, Ravi.
Thank you. So, Dr. Pramod, you have been like leading the transformation of India through the digital stacks, the India stack, and the overall Aadhaar UPI ecosystem and the DPI, which is now going global. And now we are entering the AI age. So, how are you seeing this impact of AI on the DPI movement itself? Like we can start from there.
Excellent. So if you look at what India did in the last 10 years, 15 years, it's truly remarkable, first of all, to get 1 billion plus people formalized into the economy. And formalization meant everyone having a digital identity, everyone having the ability to carry their own data, everyone having the ability to make electronic payments, everyone having a bank account, everyone having access to capital market for an insurance and other products that all of us take it for granted. You know, the top of the society, we tend to have access to all the formal systems, and that was not the case with much of India. So last 10 years, if you look at it, I would call it a formalization decade. A decade where we formalized 1 billion people's life and provided the basic tools for them to be able to navigate their economic journey, prosperity journey, life journey as a whole. And now this cuts across, not only India did foundational digital public infrastructure, which is identity, DigiLocker, credentialing and payment and data, account aggregator, and so on. We are now also doing it sectoral. That actually we are doing health stack, right? In the last 4-5 years, we have been having efforts in what's called Ayushman Digital Health Mission, APDM. Similarly, we have an agri stack effort that is digitizing the core agriculture registries, agriculture land records, and so on, so that becomes digitally transactable in subsequently. Similarly, we're doing education and skilling infrastructure. Of course, in the energy sector, we can see, and commerce through ONDC, commerce sector. So what we have been doing primarily is the unlocking access, basic access. And that is why I called it a formalization decade. Now comes the aspiration decade, right? We have to actually deal with the aspiration of young India and then the prosperity. Hopefully by 2047, 2050, 2060, India has a lot more middle class in a prosperous fashion. Today, I think we are almost getting done through the formalization era and now going into aspiration era for economic progress point of view. But from a technology point of view, your question is very relevant. We are also moving from an information era, internet and information era, to an intelligence era. And that intelligence era movement, it's still early. And while the hype is there, you will see the actual implications of AI will take a little bit of time across sectors, whether manufacturing, healthcare, agriculture, transportation, sanitation and everything else. AI will eventually creep in. But nevertheless, I think we have started that journey towards the intelligence era. At that time, India's aspirational middle class and the application of AI has to match. If you don't match, we will have an issue. So I think what I am extremely optimistic about is India has now done the basic effort of formalizing and digitizing the systems. Now it's easier for us, actually, easier for us to apply AI on top of DPI, AI on DPI, AI on how do you use identity and authentication easier? How do you apply for an employment easier? How do you get a loan easier and faster? How do you fill up a form in an Indic language, more conversational, voice-based interfaces and so on? So we can now imagine AI supercharging DPI. Okay. So it's not AI versus DPI. Is it it's actually AI supercharging DPI. But on the flip side, we also have to worry about, is this AI fully important? Is this AI highly biased towards a particular set of cultures, not necessarily capturing Indian contextual and Indian cultural and Indian habitual aspects into the AI? These questions ought to be asked also. Not only that AI can supercharge the DPI, we should also ask the other question. What can we do to create DPI itself in the AI world? That means, can we create data sets, Indian data sets, Indian healthcare data sets, Indian language data sets, Indian language models that are much more amenable to variants of Bhojpuri and Konkani and everything that is covered right across India's diversity calls necessitates that we do this. So that is why efforts like Bhashini, if you look at the mission Bhashini, they're all towards democratizing the AI using the DPI principles. The other side is AI on DPI. So you can look at AI on top of DPI or AI DPI for AI. So you can do both. And I think it is going to be a fantastic decade ahead for us if we unlock technology, unlock entrepreneurial energy. India's entrepreneurial energy is brilliant, and we must unlock it. Unlock capital flows, the money flow, it has to flow into the society, and definitely unlock simplification of doing business and compliance. That part is also needs to be unlocked and simplified. If you can do these four, we are in a great position actually to supercharge further.
Yeah, asking you further on this, because of the UPI India stack and DigiLocker, various government databases are now going digital or have gone digital.
Correct.
But there are lots of it, perhaps huge amount of data in each central government department, state department, municipal bodies, urban bodies, panchayats, which is all on paper, still on paper. And if AI, like if we had digital versions of it and we were able to use AI, it will unlock like so much knowledge and information. So how do you have any suggestions or ideas on this?
Yeah, so I think again there are two parts to this. In one sense, maybe again my optimistic view, is that because we did not digitize everything, maybe there is a faster way to digitize using AI. So because we can leapfrog. Sometimes what happens if you already have digitized in the past, then now you can only do incremental effort. But because India has so much more to do, if you apply AI, paper digitization, courtroom digitization, judicial digitization, panchayati digitization, land records, all this could be actually faster because we could move from paper, Indian language, paper-based form. Applying AI actually can supercharge that digitization rather than a traditional scanning, typing, putting it in the database kind of digitization. We can actually use AI to fast track our digitization effort. Now, the second order effect of the digitization is data. I think I have definitely been pushing, along with including our government, many policies exist for bringing government data. Both if it is a personal data, then it should come in the hands of the users. because you can't put it out in the public domain all the time. So users have, like, if you have land records data, you should have had a verifiable land record in the DigiLocker, in the sense that you should be able to, banks to be able to do loans faster, for example, instead of paper-based. So digitization allow personal data digitization should be treated as a data empowerment story and give back the data to individuals and farmers and landholders and everybody else. But if it is non-personal data, government also holds a lot of non-personal data, which is a great knowledge database. We should actually unlock that under the NPD, non-personal data schemes, as part of open data sets. And government must, I think we do have NDSAP policies, NDSAP policies, and other open data policies, but I don't think we have executed it well enough. I think it is not a lack of policy. I think we should maybe create a mission, like a national mission to unlock data, and then we have enough policies, because it's all taxpayers' money. It's all government. It's not a private data. It's actually public good data. But we should drive it through a mission as part of the digitization, also to get the data sets out. If you get the data sets out, you're right. It can be used both for knowledge, but also for innovation. I think you can train AI now on top of that and create a better AI models that is better fitment for India.
Sure. I will ask you about the Beckn protocol. Yeah, and that design is being used in like ONDC, and also being piloted in Amsterdam for the transport network. So I was like thinking about, we are like solving the problems of Amsterdam transport network. Like, look at more than 100 cities of the country, and each of them is like going to need a open transport based like network. So what are you like your views about upscaling it to it, like in the various transportation system in India? And
using
AI.
Of course. So I think it is, again, the Beckn protocol is a global open source effort. So protocol itself is open source. We have a large community. So it is, in one sense, it's good that many parts of the world is also adopting things that originated here, in one sense, right? It's of pride for us, and it's a good thing. But you are right. India has so much more to solve in India itself. So if you look at ONDC, along with companies like Namayatri, today are solving integrated urban transport, discovery, booking, ticketing, and travel part of it. Digital world. In the physical world, though, it's a very different issue. If the metro is not being constructed fast enough, if the roads are all clogged, then we have a physical infrastructure problem. But nevertheless, even there in the physical infrastructure today, Karnataka's many of the traffic signals are now startup entrepreneurs are bringing AI-driven traffic signals that actually can detect using cameras the kind of crowd, readjust the timing for red and green. Otherwise, it used to be always a fixed one, and it doesn't work. Sometimes early morning, there's no car. In that case, it's still red and people don't know what to do, right? So I think today you can see AI applications for crowd management, traffic light management, or police control rooms. They're actually starting to use AI to manage any abnormal crowd or abnormal situations in cities. So applicability of AI, because of the AI power of camera, both multi-modal AI, voice, camera feed, and text feed. They're all can be processed together in the AI. What's called a multi-modal AI. Right? When you come to multi-modal AI, applicability to solve real-world problems. becomes, for example, before a traffic congestion occurs, before if there is a significant issue that cops need to come in, police need to come in, they can actually, very much plan. So I think your planning, execution, and everyday efficiency can be improved using AI in the physical world. But construction itself is behind. So that is a different issue. Why our cities are very, very slow. Like Bangalore is notorious for its traffic because we are growing faster than the infrastructure can catch up. But digitally, definitely, Beckn protocol combined with AI can create agentic and AI-driven capabilities that can push the ability to plan and execute large-scale urban infrastructure.
So another question I will ask is that you have worked in the agri sector, healthcare sector, transportation sector, and several other education sector, the Disha program. So there are at least 100 government departments, and each of them needs a DPI engine and AI engine. So how do you look at addressing all this vast set of problems and solving it through DPI and AI perhaps?
Of course. That what is to quickly understand what is DPI versus digitization. Digitization is trying to use digital technologies to solve a particular thing. But DPI is a subset of digitization, only a small set. And DPI focuses on minimum infrastructure building blocks or components that can be exposed to the private innovation and public innovation later. So in one sense, implementing DPI is actually cheaper and faster than digitizing the whole thing. Trying to see if the agriculture department says we have to digitize farmer app and everything, then it's a lot of taxpayers' money. It's a long RFP process. Government may not be able to do it. Instead, if government says, no, I will digitize only land records, crop records, basic weather data sets, and weather soil data, I will obviously provide digital records of these. But buying, selling a farmer produce, direct to home, ability to sell, all should be driven by entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs should be able to create agriculture input market, which is seed and everything else, and output market, which is selling my produce to bulk orders or small orders, right? So digitization DPI is not about solving everything. DPI is about creating digitizing the underlying building blocks and letting others solve it. Otherwise, what will happen is we expect government to solve everything, but it's a very unfair thing. Government cannot solve everything. It has to be a combination of, as we call it, Samaj, Sarkar, Bazaar. All three have to come together to solve complex problems. So DPI is nicely fit into cheaper, faster, simpler to do DPI than the whole digitization. And when you do DPI approach, then the market players, entrepreneurs, innovators also get to build workflows and applications, which is the right thing because India's diversity is India's language. We need many, many applications. So everybody should be able to build it, whether it's a financial application, lending application, whether it's a farmer application, job application. People should be able to build this. So DPI is very friendly. Now, if you apply AI on top of it, we are today much of the digitization is done through traditional digital means. That means a form has to be filled. In the form, I have to fill in a particular way, and then I have to really understand the instructions around the form filling. Then I have to understand the terms and agreement if I'm applying for a loan. Everything is a friction because beyond 100 million people, 10 crore, 15 crore, 20 crore people maximum, impossible for people to actually fill up a form, understand terms and agreements, and willingly apply for things. No. So what we believe AI, actually this will be the decade of a big shift from human computer interaction. We will go into much more human native computer interaction, like talking to a computer, voice, my local language. Instead of saying, this click here and fill this form. It's not obvious. Even my mother can't fill a complex form. It's very difficult for her, right? Even although she is educated, we find it very hard. Human computer interaction has been a friction. With AI, I think we are going to remove that friction beyond the touch now to the voice and the conversational interface. Imagine you can speak to a computer as if you are speaking to a friend or to a human being. That will create actually remove the barrier for next 50 crore, 60 crore people to participate in actual economic transaction. So with DPI, with private innovation, with AI, the combination of DPI and private innovation and AI is the only way we are going to get next 50, 60, 70 crore people to participate,
Fantastic.
actually knowingly participate in transactions, which we must do in the next 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. And I will ask you that what is personally you are involved in right now, and what's your goal for next like 2 years or 3 years? Like, how are you busy with? Like,
Oh, I'm busy with many things, but there are two parts to what I do. One part is a lot of effort in globalizing, global effort of our open technology effort, which is Beckn protocol, vision called Beckn for open commerce, open trade, and the vision called Finternet, which is actually envisioning a world where every human, every individual, and every business will own their own tokenized data, tokenized assets, all forms of assets, not only physical assets, virtual assets, digital assets, and so on. And it's a 10-15 year effort, and that we will continue. That is part of half my time is spent on creating next generation universal DPIs. So not only for India, to the world. And the other part of me also spends a lot of time in India's core problem in various verticals. So I engage myself in whether it's agriculture, whether it's in judiciary reform. There's a large open source group and doing that. Skilling and education, Extra Foundation, others are working on it. So I participate in many of that effort. And of course, energy sector, a huge effort in India upgrading and digitizing energy sector, because energy abundance is a necessity for us to actually economic. And if the energy abundance can also meet the sustainability goals, that means solar power, wind power, green power. If we can solve both sustainability and energy abundance, it's a very important part of, given this geopolitical sort of drama playing out. It is important that we truly become Viksit and we truly become self-reliant in many parts. And energy sector is one of them. And I think we are spending a lot of time, government is spending a lot of time in not only solarization, bringing EV everywhere, but also reimagining the whole energy sector itself. And now Prime Minister announced nuclear energy yesterday. The independence speech, he talked about investing in nuclear energy. So I think energy is a big sector, because as a human, as large 1.4 billion people society, we need a lot of energy, and we need sustainable energy, so that we can actually continue to be responsible to Earth, to the planet, but also grow. We need growth and responsibility, so sustainability. So that sector is also a very exciting sector that is going on. I'm spending a lot of time there also.
And energy is the new UPI has been the statement by
Indeed,
another. So,
indeed,
you
indeed.
want to like elaborate that briefly
Yeah,
about?
I think what did UPI do? UPI enabled flow of money
Hmm.
from
Yes.
anyone to anyone, even if it's 1 rupee. The flow of money became so easy in India.
Hmm.
Otherwise, flow of money was very high friction, and only few
Yes.
people could do. Now
Yes.
everyone can do flow of money. With and second part of UPI was that UPI also showed private innovation and public goods can coexist in
Hmm.
the DPI. So we have a public good, UPI as a public good, but we also have Phone Pay and Paytm and Google Pay and everybody playing to make our life easy. Merchants' life easy, right? They will give enough application. Now UPI is used for lending flows. UPI is used for mutual fund investment. UPI is used for many, many things, right? So UPI made the flow of money, also created innovation from private sector, right?
Hmm.
These two are now being applied to energy. One, flow of energy, okay?
Hmm.
Flow of energy from your rooftop to a next building, and maybe there is a small business nearby, and business wants to buy afternoon solar energy, but
Hmm.
nearby an apartment complex may be producing solar energy. Today, it's
Hmm.
not easy to move this flow of energy that easily and account for it. Accounting is difficult, flow of money is difficult, policies are still slightly constrained, and of course, energy brings additional complexity because
Hmm.
energy is not just information flow like money, it is
Hmm.
also electrons flow. Actual physical electrons are flowing. So the
Yeah.
grid, it might generate heat. It might your transformer might burn.
Hmm.
If too much power is pushed. So
Hmm.
it has physical constraints, but we are also creating a
Hmm.
digital layer of the
Hmm.
entire energy grid to make flow of energy easy, accountable, any to any. And the
Hmm.
second part is that we are also expecting a large sector of entrepreneurial innovation to
Hmm.
kick in. Whether you are in a battery management entrepreneur, battery aggregation, whether you are in a solar management, maybe you have a smart meter entrepreneur, maybe you have many of those, or you might have energy financing companies, all kinds of interesting, maybe you can do very interesting energy futures like
Hmm.
commodity. You
Hmm.
can buy, sell. So in the energy also, we expect not only smoothing the flow of energy and accounting and making it easier, but it
Hmm.
also creating dramatic innovation through our local entrepreneurs building energy tech, like fintech, energy
Yes.
tech companies building it. Between these two is what Nandan said, okay, energy is ready to be a UPFI. No, energy is the next UPI. I think it's brilliantly said, and we are very much in time. Our policies are opening up, investments are opening up, startups are coming in, and it's a perfect time for us to actually think like UPI.
Fantastic. And I think you're constrained for time, so I will ask a last question. You are passionate about the justice and like digital, making a digital. So how can DPI and AI help here? If you can like talk about that.
So again, a lot of us are optimists and high patience people. So we have a lot of optimism in our heart, thinking that we'll continue to find way, India will continue to do well, and the world will continue to do well, and humanity will continue to do well. I don't wake up as a pessimist. I don't have time to crib and be a pessimist. So I'm a very optimist. Second part is that I have high patience. A lot of us who work in this sector tend to have high patience because not societies like India, large societies like India, don't overnight change. It's not straightforward. Many reasons, why, habit reasons, cultural reasons, policy reasons, tech readiness reasons, many reasons why it doesn't do. And judiciary is one of them. Judiciary has been, unlike unlike fintech or banking, where everything has been digitized since 90s, capital market, judiciary is going through the first generation digitization now. And also, judiciary, the mental model of judiciary is still very old style, right? In the sense that judges and the rules, and it's like a very old European style inherited culture, little bit. And it's changing. We can see, including Supreme Court justices, High Court justices, actively talking about both digitization and AI, because at the end of the day, if a society cannot provide timely, justice to people, we have failed as a society. Not judges have failed. We collectively have failed. If you can't provide timely justice to people, it is an expectation of an organized society. When you live in an organized society, that I will get justice on time. Not after 50 years, not after 100 years, not after 80 years. So I think this is something which is paining everybody. Anybody in the sector, it pains to know how many under trials are languishing in the jails, whose case is not even filed. They are not even called one time to the court, but they're all languishing. Young people, a lot of them. Some of them are actual criminals, some of them are not, some of them are maybe caught in the middle. But it's not fair. That's not how society should be. So again, I don't expect overnight any miracle to happen, but definitely judiciary as a whole, and there are NGOs like Agami, my friends there at Agami or Daksh, and all these companies, and now private sector is coming into digitization judiciary and providing very interesting e-filing, court tools, all those tools. I think we are starting to see what we saw with financial industry in the 90s and early 2000. We are seeing that in judiciary. But the good thing, good thing about it is, because they are starting in 2025 or 2020 only now, they can straight away take advantage of smartphone, AI, connectivity, everything. If they had digitized in 90s, maybe we would have had a legacy problem. But today they are fresh slate. They are starting. So I think it is good to provide AI-driven, user-centric tools, not only for the individuals and people, also for the lawyers, and also, of course, for the judges themselves. And for, we are doing it for criminal side of it, police and jail part of the system also. If you can create an integrated, AI-driven, good design and applying DPI principles there, we can leapfrog. Maybe 10 years later, we will look back and say, my God, actually, we are starting to change even judiciary. First of all, by the way, India's first digital court was inaugurated in Kochi. It's coming in Kerala. There are 2 courts, I think, now coming fully digital, only digital. No paperwork, everything. E-file, everything is now in minutes. You can file. They are compressing the time to hearing. The delay in hearing is being reduced. Just smart scheduling it using AI, definitely happening. I can see the leadership definitely woken up, but we should give ourselves, I think, a decade to see actual, because we have a very large country, very large system. So it is extremely hard, to do it. But I am very optimistic. I think timely justice will come applying, and technology is the only thing that can accelerate that journey for us.
Fantastic. And sir, last words about impact of AI on employability, skills, education, if you can highlight.
Excellent. So AI, quite like any technology in the history, when electricity came, when steam engines came, before the printing press came, every time when automobiles came, then subsequently computers came, and then internet came, I think we have seen what called a job shifts. So there's some jobs at that time, like somebody who was looking after the horse, somebody was owning the horse, somebody was, providing horse as lease. All that job at one shot went away when, cars came. Whatever, right? In a decade, in less than a decade, horses literally gone. They're no more there, right? They're no more in the city. Everybody was driving around. So you will see a short-term impact of a particular type of jobs, especially repeatable desk jobs. If you are doing a repeatable desk jobs, very high chance, accelerated digitization now with AI, you will see a impact short term, which we must worry about, because there will be people who are losing jobs and their family may be in trouble. So we have to worry about as a society a little bit of that. But in macro, jobs will mostly shift to a new. So my ask to people always been, please be a continuous learner. Keep learning new tools and new opportunities and look for new opportunity. Never stay comfortable thinking that your job is there permanently, right? And the same thing you can keep doing every day until you're 50. No more are the days where what you do in 20s is what you're going to do in 30s. Very different. What you do in 30s will be very different from 40s. Now, how do you make yourself ready for it? Is to be a childlike learner. You have to learn, and be hungry to learn and keep moving. Those people will actually shift jobs, and they're not going to lose. They're going to shift jobs. And on second big point, India, even today, if you look at the macro of India, formal jobs are only few. Much of India is in informal jobs, services sector, physical services sector, and nearly half the country is in agriculture. Neither physical services sector, industry sector, construction sector, food delivery sector, any of the physical services sector, hospitality sector, or any of the agriculture sector is going to see the impact of AI or robots anytime soon. It will take a few more decades before it becomes affordable and easy in the hands of everyone. So I think people like us should be afraid. I think much of India should not be afraid. Is my takeaway.
Okay, fantastic. I think we will end here, and really a pleasure to speak to you. And thank for your time for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for hosting me. All the best to everyone.
Thank you so much. Namaskar.